What's going on, guys? Coach Darian here. Today we're going to cover how to tone up after giving birth. I had a great question from somebody who wanted to know how to tone up after giving birth to a beautiful little human. Okay, and even if you haven't just given birth to a little human and you're just looking for a way to get started and you don't know where to start because there's so much information everywhere you look and you just don't know what to do, or you haven't had a good experience before, we're going to cover all that today, so don't even worry, I got you. All right, so in this video, we're going to cover how to tone up after giving birth, or just in general, how to start toning up, okay? So first we need to define, what does tone mean? All tone means is that you are showing your definition, showing your muscle definition. So that means you have to have a certain level of muscle already, and then you have to reduce your fat in order to be able to see it. Okay, because if you don't really have any muscle on your body anyway, and you just lose fat and lose fat and lose fat, you might not have the look that you're going for. So you want to be trying to increase how much muscle you have on your body and reduce the amount of fat that you have on your body so you can reveal that definition. Okay, that's what tone is. So if we say tone moving forward, that just means less fat and more muscle. Okay, so this woman asked me, she started at 140 pounds, ballooned up to about 170, and then within 2 months, she lost 30 pounds and went right back to 140 pounds. But she looked totally different. She sent me a picture of where she was and where she is now, and they do look totally different, although the weight is the same on the scale. So for anybody out there thinking that all you need to do is get back to your goal weight or get back to your high school weight, and you're going to look exactly how you want to look, think again. It doesn't work that way. And this woman described her body as pudgy and scarred. So I just want to touch on real quick that there's nothing scarred about the imperfections that you might show after giving birth. Okay, stretch marks, tiger stripes, anything like that. Trust me, they are totally normal. And there's so many women out there that have them. I have them like on my butt cheeks. I have some on my sides from when I got a little bit bigger at one point. It's totally normal, okay? So don't feel insecure about that. I know a lot of women are worried about, having stretch marks, but don't worry about that, okay? No guy cares if you have stretch marks. Like the fact that you sacrificed a piece of you to be able to create this beautiful human is an amazing thing. You should be proud of it, right? Those are your scars to show your love for your child. So don't ever feel like because you have stretch marks that you're less beautiful, you're less sexy, you're less desirable because you have those, okay? So in this video, we're not going to talk about how to get rid of stretch marks because I think that's only with like surgery, but we're going to talk about how to get toned, okay? And I'm going to give you the no bullshit answer and how to do it for real. Okay, so whenever people want to get toned, a lot of folks think they need to start doing tons of cardio and taking a bunch of supplements and fat burners to speed up the process. Stop. Don't think that way. Okay, don't start going that way. Marketers do a very, very good job in telling you that their supplement is going to help you to rapidly lose fat and you're going to have this flat stomach and all this. That is not reality. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you're going to waste your money and you're going to be frustrated. And in terms of cardio, you don't want to be the person who starts trying to do an hour on the treadmill, an hour on the elliptical, doing all this cardio and not including enough strength training. Okay, the foundation of how you should be working out is strength training, lifting weights. Total body compound lifts, free weights, okay, not just machines. Don't make the mistake of just jumping on a freaking leg extension machine or a chest press machine and doing 100,000 reps of that. It's not going to work, okay? You're not going to get the look that you want doing machines or light weights all the time. Now, it's okay to use light weights if you're just starting out and you're learning the form, and to get tone and to build more muscle, we need to progressively be using heavier and more challenging weights. Okay, so how do you want to train? It comes down to a few things. You have to know how to structure your workout program appropriately. And that's going to depend on what your fitness level is. Have you ever trained before? Do you have any pre-existing injuries? How strong are you right now? What did you do last month? If you have been training, what kind of training have you been building so far? So in this case, I'm going to assume you haven't trained at all. So we want to start with building a strong foundation. Okay, so just doing arm exercises or just doing, leg extensions, those are very, very isolated exercises where you're working very small muscle groups. What I want you to think about is trying to get the most muscles involved in every single exercise you do. So if you do a squat versus a leg extension, right, where you're sitting on the machine, you're straightening your leg out, and you feel the burn in your thighs, that's going to work much less than if you're doing a squat with a barbell on your back or holding a kettlebell in front of you, okay, or a deadlift. You're working so many more muscles from head to toe. Okay, so we want to do compound movements where we're using 2 arms, 2 legs, and trying to incorporate our entire body as a unit. That's going to add the most amount of muscle potential to your body, as well as burn more calories. Okay, you burn so many more calories doing a deadlift, a squat, a kettlebell swing, a row than if you're doing bicep curls, leg extensions, and all that stuff. Okay, so primarily I want your calories that you're burning to come from working out hard, okay? Doing the exercises that you don't want to do. Like on squats, it's so easy to just do body weight squats for 100. But try doing that with 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds and do 10 sets of 10 where you can't even do another one. Like you get to 10 and you're exhausted. You have to rest for a minute. Then go back and do it again. Then rest. Go back and do it again. Maybe you can't do all 10 sets of 10. Maybe you could do 5 sets of 10. But then the next time you go back and do it, try to do 6 sets of 10. Okay? So one thing I want you to remember is PAC. Progressive overload, awareness, and consistency. PAC. Write that down. Stamp it on your brain. That's going to be the bread and butter and the motto you want to live by to get toned. Okay? P, progressive overload. You need to constantly be challenging yourself more and more. Okay? If you're just starting out, it's okay to grab, the 5s or the 10s and go light and just learn the movement, learn how to do it properly, feel the muscle you're trying to work. But if you're talking to me 3 weeks later and you're still using 10s for squats, no, your progress is going to stop because your body adjusts and it adapts. You constantly want to be putting your body through more stress than it's used to. And that is going to cause your body to say, wow, this is really hard and it's something I've not done before and I'm not used to, so I need to come back stronger. And by coming back stronger, that means it's going to add more muscle. You're going to have more definition in your legs and your butt because you're adding more muscle, because it's recruiting more muscles to be able to do that work, whether it's heavier weights, more reps. But in this case, since you're starting out, going heavier each workout is going to make a big difference. Try to aim to add 2.5 to 5 pounds to each one of your lifts. So if you're doing squats and you're doing 5s in each hand, next workout, try to do 7.5s in each hand. Then try to do 10s in each hand. Then 12, then 15, and keep going up until you hit that point where it's like you can't go any heavier. Okay? Throughout that process, you are going to add muscle to your legs. For your upper body, if you're doing chest presses or rows or pull downs, shoulder presses, same principle. Start out light so you can learn the form, but every workout you want to be striving to add more weight and progressively overload the movement. Don't be like these people who are stuck using the same weights that they're comfortable with forever. That's when their progress stops. Comfortability and comfort should be your enemy. You're trying to run from being comfortable. Don't try to be comfortable. Make yourself uncomfortable, and I promise you that's going to help you to get toned very quickly. Okay, the next one, A, for awareness. You need to be aware of what you're doing. You'd be surprised. A lot of people aren't aware of the habits that they are treating their body with. Okay, so I tell people all the time, start tracking your food. You have no idea how many grams of protein you're eating in a day. You have no idea how many grams of carbs or fats or how much water you're intaking. You can just kind of guess. And some people have no clue at all. So you need to become aware, because when you're aware, you're able to be more mindful and make better adjustments. So a lot of people out there, it's not that you need to eat less. It's that you need to eat more of certain things and less of others. Let me repeat that. It's not that you need to keep eating less. It's you need to eat more of some things and less of others. Okay? Yes, calories are important, but for women trying to tone up, the number one thing that I've noticed that every single woman that's come to me has a problem with is they're not getting enough protein. I have yet to see any woman come train with me when their goal is to lose weight or tone up and they're getting adequate amounts of protein. It just doesn't happen. If you start hitting the amount of protein that your body is required to have, that I recommend, that most people and trainers recommend, you're going to see significant results just off that alone, just by getting more protein in your diet. Okay? Protein is so important for building muscle, and that's what you want to do when you're trying to get toned. Otherwise, you know what you're doing is you're lifting all these weights and then you're not giving your body the ingredients it needs to come back stronger and to add muscle. It's like if you take a drive to Disneyland, but you're not refueling it with gas. Like you're literally running your body into the ground. Okay? So if you want to add muscle, you need to go heavy with the weights, go heavier, which is relative because, for some people that might just be 15 pounds instead of 5. For others, it might be 50 pounds instead of 30s. It just depends. And you need to get adequate amounts of protein in order to facilitate new muscle growth. And the more muscle that you're able to put on your body, the more calories your body is going to burn at rest, because muscle is a very active tissue. Okay, so if I have 10 pounds more muscle on my body, I'm going to burn so many more calories just doing nothing. That's going to help to keep you lean and keep you in shape. Okay? Awareness. Track your food. See what you're doing so you can identify where you need to make improvements. And most likely, you're going to need more protein, you need a little bit less carbs, and you might need to adjust where your fats are. Okay? You might be under-eating completely and hardly eating at all, in which case you need to bump up the calories. Or you're overeating, you need to drop the calories a bit. Okay? But you won't know until you start tracking. It's not enough to just eat healthier foods, because you can still eat healthy foods and be fat. Let me say that again. You can still eat healthy foods and get fat. Is it harder to do? Yes, but it can be done. If you're not eating the right amount of calories and macros, you're not going to get the results that you want. So make yourself aware by journaling what food you eat. I recommend the app called MyFitnessPal. That's what I use. That's what I have my clients use. And it makes a big difference when you become aware of what you're eating. And then the last one is consistency. I know you want to see the progress right now, but there's no way that you're going to get the body that you want within 2-3 weeks, within a month, maybe 2 months. Maybe it takes you 6 months to get where you want to be. Maybe it takes you a year. But you got to understand that in fitness, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So don't try to work out 2 hours a day, eat the healthiest foods, and you just burn out. Make sure that you are enjoying the process, you're progressively getting better, and you're just making it part of your routine. And I promise you, if you stay consistent, you will definitely see progress and you will get more toned. Listen, somebody said this to me and it makes so much sense. So listen to this. So I want you to remember one thing. Is that 1 week of eating healthy isn't going to get you fit, just like 1 week of eating like shit isn't going to get you out of shape. Okay? You are what you repeatedly do. You are what you repeatedly do on a daily basis. You are the culmination of your habits. Okay? So what you do on a day-to-day basis is reflected in how you look, okay, and how you feel. So you got to understand that one bad day of eating isn't going to get you out of shape, and one good day of eating isn't going to get you fit. Okay? So you got to understand that 1 week of eating healthy isn't going to get you fit, and one bad week of eating isn't going to get you fat. So you got to understand it takes time. You have to do the right things. You have to be aware. You have to be strength training. You have to be consistent for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I promise you, within a month of being consistent, you're going to see some changes, some very good changes, and that's going to motivate you to push harder. That's going to be a feedback loop like, oh my gosh, everything that I'm doing, I'm seeing a difference. And it's going to make you want to keep going. But you have to be consistent first. Too many people give up way too soon, right? They eat healthy, they work out, they do all the right things for like a week. And they don't see the weight changing on the scale. They don't see the changes happening, and they just give up. Don't be that person. Understand that when you start drinking more water, the first 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to gain some weight because your body is not used to having all that extra water. But on like the week 4 and 5, it's going to lose a lot of that extra water weight and you're going to be sufficiently hydrated. Okay, which is going to help facilitate more fat loss. A lot of people start eating healthy and they don't see the changes happening on a day-to-day basis, and it makes them unmotivated. So take pictures every 2 weeks, compare them, look at them. Don't worry about the scale. Worry about creating the habit, okay, of training every day or every other day, of tracking your food, of drinking more water. It's not rocket science. You just have to be consistent with it. I know it can be a lot, and trying to figure out how to work out and how to eat properly and doing all that, it's very challenging. And there's definitely a learning curve in trying to figure all this stuff out. So what I always recommend to people, and what I do personally, is whenever I want to achieve something and I have a goal, what I do is I seek out the people who are already experts in that field, and I learn from them. I find the people who are good at business. I find the people who are good at podcasts, and I learn from them because it accelerates the process. It's like jumping on the fast lane, and you get to where you want to be much faster because you're learning from somebody who's already made all the mistakes, okay? And if that's you, if you're one of those type of people, I highly encourage you to hire a coach. If you want to train with me, I offer personal training and boot camp where we're training outdoors right now where the gym is closed. I also do virtual boot camp where we can train over Zoom and you have that accountability from me no matter where you are in the world. So if you don't live in Rio Vista, I can still train you just like this over video. Make sure you're doing your reps correctly. I structure the workouts that are designed to get you to your goals as fast as possible. I set up the nutrition so you don't have to think about how many calories to eat or what foods to eat. And you literally just have to follow my advice and you are going to get to your goal so much faster than if you're trying to do it all on your own. Okay, so if you are interested in that, if you are interested in our outdoor social distance boot camp or in our virtual boot camp, take a look at our website, DM me. I'd love to give you more information on that. It's helped so many people get in shape, and it's helped so many people reach levels of fitness that they didn't think that they'd be able to accomplish in record-breaking time. And I'd love to be your coach. If you're interested, I'm always excited to help somebody to be able to get the body that they want and see that smile on their face when they get there, and just to make the process easier for you. Right? It's hard enough doing the workouts and dealing with this COVID stuff and the fires and all of life stresses and trying to be a homeschool parent, get your kids on Zoom. You shouldn't have to think about what to eat, how to work out, and learn how to do fitness. Take that stress off. If you hire a coach, make the investment, and you're going to reach your goals so much faster than if you do it on your own. So I hope this video helps. I wasn't trying to make it too long. Just remember, progressive overload, awareness, and consistency. I'm out.